Hey dwellers, welcome back to another episode. It's your host Trenice, and I am back with another amazing episode. And I'm actually on time now. It's been 2 weeks. As I said at the start of the year, the new schedule for season 3 is bi-weekly, and that's because it just helps me dwell myself. It helps me live what I say. It helps me make time for the Lord and not make content for the sake of content. Because, when it's faith-based, it's very easy to fall into the trap of keeping up with the algorithm. But I think it's very important to hear from God. I think speaking on Jesus, whether that's through teaching or exhortation. So Dwell Pod is exhortation simply because it's encouraging videos. It's not so heavy on the teaching, and then it's not just exhortation. It's a bit of both because it's a balance of the two, more so on the encouraging side. I think when speaking for the Lord, you should not take it lightly. I think when you are speaking about your faith, your words can either lead people the right way or the wrong way. So I think bi-weekly is good for me, and good for you guys as well. So yeah, bi-weekly, guys, and I'm actually happy that I've kept up with the schedule. As always, life update. So for me, I'm doing well, guys. I'm doing well. I'm in a new job, which I spoke about on the previous episode, and that's going well. I'm doing good at my job. I'm writing and producing as well as acting. So I believe at the start of the year, in an episode, I did speak on that now alongside acting. I'm writing and producing. So I'm an actor, writer, and producer. So a storyteller in front and behind the camera. And that is going well. I have wrote a short film that I am going to be shooting in the summer for 2 days. It's just a 2-day shoot, which I'm excited for. And that short film is about a time in my life dealing with immigration and mental health. And quickly, the short film follows a young woman called Nia who is battling her immigration status. And, we go through that journey in the film. And also her best friend Lauren in the film plays like an important part. She's like the anchor in the film, and Nia is me. So yeah, I'm excited to create that film and make it. I'm in the process of finding a small crew and getting it done. So summertime, I'll just keep you guys updated. Producing wise and writing wise, I've developed a TV series which I am still in development and still doing. I'm in early development stage researching about how I want this series to play out, and I've started writing a little bit. So this TV series, this limited series, won't be ready until maybe the next 2 years. I want to have a writer's room next year. So my producing hat is doing well, and I also, as a producer, want to hop on things. So if I see a project that I like from another writer, I would love to help produce that short film or whatever it may be. So I'm excited. Life wise, I'm enjoying living. I'm enjoying little moments like going out with my friends, doing life, doing simple things, going on walks, having slow mornings, to really sit with the Lord and just take time, and this season of life, I want to do more hobbies, more things to move my body. So, whether that's joining a dance class, I don't know if I'll do dance, but paddle. I want to start paddle, go to more acting classes, and travel more. Traveling is something I want to do, and just live, take each day as it comes and just enjoy. Yeah, so I've rambled on a little bit there, but I'm so sorry. That's the life update. That's me. I hope you guys are doing well. Please leave it down in the comments. I would love to know. So guys, in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about being young and faithful. What does it mean to live a faithful life to Jesus in your youth, in your younger days, and to not be afraid of that? Because what I've seen in my generation is that it's very difficult to follow Jesus authentically, because we are so focused and so consumed up by what other people say, what it looks like, it not being cool. People saying, oh, you're missing out on your youth, you're missing out on your young adulthood. This is a time where you should be finding yourself and doing all these crazy things. But in the book of Timothy, it says that we should use our youth to honor God. The Lord actually wants us to use our younger days for him. You know, the enemy wants us to be lost and confused and have identity crisis and not know who we are. So this episode, I want to encourage you guys to use your youth to love the Lord and to honor the Lord. And yeah, so let's get into it. So how do you stay faithful to Christ in this generation? And honestly, staying faithful is just keeping your eyes on him and having the right people around you. Because what I've noticed about being young and following Jesus is having the right community, because you can be around people that still want to live their old life, still want to have this balance of, yes, I love the Lord, but I also want to have worldly fun. And when you come into Christ, your definition of fun changes. What the world displays as fun is no longer fun to you. It's no longer a desire to you to have these or go to these wild parties or get so drunk that you don't know your name. Like, these definitions or these things that presents itself as fun is no longer fun to you. So I definitely think it's important to have the right people around you that have the right mindset of, no, now that I follow the Lord, fun to us is no longer what it used to be, but it's actually freedom. It's having power over these things that I used to be a slave to, you know. And you may get teased or you may get comments saying, well, that isn't fun, that's a bit boring, but who cares? Because what they don't realize is that they are a slave to the thing that they are teasing you about. So if someone is saying to you, how can you be 27 and not want to do this and do that, or do these wild parties, or take this or take that? Because I'm not a slave to it. I don't want to do that. You know, it's an empowering thing to know that I am not enslaved to these things because of Jesus. So this is why it's important, guys, to have the right counsel. Don't have people around you that will feed you lies, that will feed you the thoughts that the enemy continues to sow in your mind. And just be okay, be comfortable with being different. One thing that I've learned over the years of following Jesus, since the age of 17 and I'm now 27, so that's 10 years. One thing I've learned, guys, is I have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. I have to be comfortable with being different. I have to understand that my mindset, my outlook on life is perfect in the eyes of Jesus, because how I now see life and how I now see fun is how Jesus desires me to see it. So if someone says that that's not right, or it's wrong, or it's boring, I have to be okay with hearing those things. I have to be okay with contending for the faith, which is defending the faith and saying, well, no, I believe that once I've given my life to Christ, I have to let go of things that don't honor God. I have to let go of things that will question my Christianity. I have to let go of things that will ruin my witness. Does that mean I won't have fun? No. That means that my idea of fun has to change. It has to be sanitized. And that's okay. So for the first point, how to stay faithful to Christ in this generation is, number one, having the right community, and number two, keeping your eyes on Jesus. They're basically the sharing number one spot: eyes on Jesus and the right community. And if you can consistently do that, you will ride the wave of what people say. It will no longer consume you. It will no longer make you feel like you're out of place. And you will just not care. Like the Bible does say, do not conform to the patterns of this world. Like, don't be moved by what everybody else is doing, but be moved by the move of God in your life. Oh, that is good. That is a word. The next point is, why is using your youth to serve God the best thing? So why is it great to serve God now? Me being 27 and being saved at 17, why was it great for me to serve God from 17 to 27 and not live the best life? And I think it's because you grow up quicker, because I realize that the things that my generation thinks is fun and living your best life actually slows down progress. It slows down destiny, because you're putting yourself in situations that don't benefit you. It doesn't produce fruit. It doesn't help you to grow as a person. So when they're saying live your life to the fullest and do all of these things, what they're actually telling you is slow down, go through some pain, and then suffer a bit more. And then when you're ready, be serious with the Lord. That's what it sounds like to me. And I don't think that's a great thing to do. It's not good advice. It's not holy. It's not livable. It's death, really. It's death presented on a plate. So serving God in your youth teaches you to number your days. It teaches you that life is not promised tomorrow. We have life now, we have life today, but who knows what tomorrow may bring. We all desire to live until we're 90, to live a very long life, but not everyone gets to live a long life. So why would I conform to that pattern of the world, that I should use my younger days to do what I want, and then maybe when I'm 60, I'll give my life to Christ, when who knows if I will make it to 60? Who knows if Jesus will come back before then? The Bible says we don't know the day nor the hour. So it's important to use today to love the Lord. And if today is 17 for you, if today is 28, if today is 25, if today is 30, 31, 50, however old you are, use today. Don't use tomorrow. Don't use 10 years down the line, because we don't know what 10 years will look like. So it's important to use today. It's important to serve God today in your years, in your youth. Teach yourself to number your days. Ask the Lord to teach you, Lord, how do I number my days? And to number your days is remembering that each day counts. Every decision I make will affect me. It will affect me negatively or positively. So I'm not going to just do what I want for the sake of it, but I'm actually going to live an intentional life, even in my youth. So be intentional about your life in your youth. It's okay if you don't know what you want to do right now. It's okay if you're still figuring it out in your 20s. I'm still in my 20s, but don't use this time wastefully. Use this time intentionally, and your older self will thank you for these days and not suffer from the choices that you made. So yeah, guys, just serve the Lord. The next point is my experience with serving the Lord from 17 to 27. So a little testimony. So I was saved at the age of 17, and from 17 to 27, it hasn't been perfect. I wouldn't say I've always used my youth to honor God, but I am grateful that the Lord kept me from 17 to 27. And there was a dark period from 19 to 22. I was in this period where I wanted to be like my friends. At the time, I was in college, so I say 19 to 22. Yeah, I finished college at 19, but around that time, I wanted to be like the friendship group I had at the time, and I wanted to do what they were doing, and I don't think I loved myself. I didn't love myself well. I didn't see the value that God has placed in me. I would waste my time speaking to guys that don't even love the Lord, that don't even know Jesus, but I wanted that attention. And I believe that does stem from my childhood, where I grew up with a mother that works all the time. So I never really got that attention that I desired as a child or needed as a child. So I found that in other things as I grew up, and it bled into my adulthood. So one way I found that attention was in guys. You know, growing up, I wasn't the first pick. I wasn't attractive to the guys that I grew up with, right? So as I got older and I got into college, and you know, as a woman your body changes and stuff, and you're starting to get a bit more attention, I didn't see my value, you know, and I wasted so much time speaking to these guys that it just made no sense. You know, if I could go back in time, I would just be like, no, what are you doing? But thank you, Jesus, for your grace and your mercy and learning from those years. And it wasn't even just attention from guys. It was also me not faithfully following Jesus, me just not caring about my faith, you know, from 19 to 22, just really taking each day for granted. And that had an effect on my later 20s. So now being 27, I think from 25, I started to renew and go on this journey of being whole and letting go of patterns that I've learned, unlearning patterns and relearning the Lord and the foundations of my faith. So I would say from 25, that seed was planted, and now it is springing forth being 27. And now being 27, I'm in a season of life where I am building the life that I desire to have with the Lord. I am building a life that is not dependent on a man, is not dependent on anything but Jesus. You know, I'm building my finances, I'm building my faith, I'm building my spiritual health. You know, I'm building community. I'm using my single season well, so that married me will not have to suffer so much, you know? So, yeah, that's what I've been learning from 17 to 27, that actually using my youth to honor God and serving the Lord does me good in my later days. And if I could encourage a young person right now, I would say, please keep your eyes on Jesus, follow the Lord. Whether you are 17, whether you are in your early 20s, or even if you are older, God still wants to use every part of you, every inch of you, and just build that intimacy with the Lord. You won't regret it. Your older self will keep thanking you. Each year you grow, you will just thank the Lord, because you realize there is no better feeling, there is no better life than the life in Jesus. So guys, I pray that you are encouraged by today's episode to follow the Lord, to use your youth to honor God, and to just keep your eyes on Jesus.